Hello everyone, let's do this question together. So it says 4xy negative 11 are the first four terms of a quadratic number pattern, right? And then 2p minus 4, p minus 3, and then p over 2 minus 1 are the first difference, the first three first differences, okay? The first three first differences of the same quadratic number pattern. Calculate the values of p, x, and y. So now we need to understand that a quadratic sequence, here's what is going to have the first differences and the second difference. And then for quadratic sequences, it is the second difference that is constant. But the first differences are what? Are linear. Actually, the first differences of a quadratic sequence, they form a linear pattern. Okay, they form a linear pattern. So now if we have these 2p minus 4 and then p minus 3 and then p over 2 minus 1, these form a linear pattern. It means the difference between these three or these first differences is the one which is constant. Okay, right. And then now it means here we can create equations using these three and solve for p, and then after solving for p, then we can find our x and y. Okay, so let's start with the first differences. So the first differences form a linear sequence, meaning that their what do you call it, their difference is what is constant. The difference is constant. Let me give you an example of a quadratic sequence. Let's say we have a simple one: 1 4 9 16. Right, what is 4 minus 1? That is 3. What is 9 minus 4? That is 5. What is 16 minus 9? That is 7. Do you see that? So the first differences, they form what? A linear sequence. And then the second differences are the one that are what? That are constant. 5 minus 3 is 2. And then 7 minus 5 is 2. You see that? So the first differences are what? Form a linear sequence. So we're going to use the first differences here to get our p-value, and then after that we're going to get our x and y. Let's start by that. So it means here, if we say p minus 3, and then minus term 2 minus term 1, right, which is, let's put it in bracket, then it's going to be 2p minus 4, is going to be equal to term 3 minus term 2. So it's going to be p over 2 minus 1, and then minus, let's put it in the bracket, p minus 3. You see that? Okay, right. And then let's remove brackets. So it's going to be p minus 3 minus 2p plus 4 is equal to p over 2 minus 1 minus p, we're distributing this negative there, minus p plus 3. You see that? So I find it easier when I simplify the left hand side and simplify the right hand side first, but whichever way you're comfortable with is fine. So what is p minus 2p? P minus 2p, that is minus p, negative p, and then negative 3 plus 4, that is positive 1, is equal to p over 2 p over 2 minus p. Let me just write it as it is first, minus p, and then there is negative 1 plus 3, that is positive 2. Okay, right. And then what we do, we can do this thing differently here, but I would prefer just multiplying everything by 2, everything by 2. So it becomes negative 2p plus 2 is equal to p negative 2p plus 4. Okay, right. These two here will give us 0. You see that if you transpose negative 2 and comes this side, it will become, if we transpose negative 2p and comes this side, becomes positive 2p, and then negative 2p plus 2p then becomes 0. Do you see that? Okay, and then we can bring the 4 this side, becomes 4 minus 2, 2 minus 4. Let me just do that. 2 minus 4 is equal to p. meaning that p is equal to negative 2. Okay, so it means p now is negative 2. So now we can get these values here. We can get these values. See that? Okay, let's just do that. Let's get those values. So the first one will be 2 times negative 2 minus 4 is equal to negative 8. That's the first one there. So it means this one is negative 8. And then p, it becomes negative 2 minus 3, which is equal to negative 5. So this one is negative 5. And then the last one is going to be p, negative p is negative 2, negative 2 over 2 minus 1, which is like negative 1 minus 1, which is negative 2. So this one is negative 2. Okay, so it means now when we have our quadratic sequence, which is 4x, y, and negative 11. So it means here when you say x minus 4, this x minus 4 is equal to what? It is equal to the negative 8 that we got here. And then the other one is, this one is y minus x. Y minus x is equal to what? Is equal to negative 5. Okay, y minus x is equal to negative 5. And then this is negative 8. Then here this one is equal to negative 5. Right, and then we have the last one, negative 11 minus y. It is equivalent to the negative 2. You see that? Then we can find our values for y here using any of these. So let's start with this one. So x minus 4 is equal to negative 8. Then we solve for x there. So bring 4 this side, becomes negative 8 plus 4 means x is equal to negative 4. Right, and then what about y? We can even use the last one here. We say negative 11 minus y is equal to negative 2. And then we bring negative 11 this side, becomes positive 11. It becomes negative y is equal to 9. Is it? Yes. Okay. And then we divide by negative 1 both sides, then y is equal to negative 9. Okay, I just want to see if this is really quadratic. Let's put our values there and see if we're going to get this. We're testing our what? Our answers. Let's check our answers. So it's 4, and then we said x is negative 4, and then y is negative 9, and then negative 11. Okay, so what is negative 4 minus 4? Negative 4 minus 4, that's negative 8. You see, it's coming out. And then what is negative 9 minus negative 4? Negative 9 plus 4, that's negative 5. Oh, it's coming out nicely. Then negative 11 minus negative 9, that's negative 11 plus 9, which is negative 2. And then here you can find our second difference. Negative 5 minus negative 8 is like negative 5 plus 8, which is 3. And then negative 2 minus negative 5 is like negative 2 plus 5, which is 3. You see that? Okay, so it means our answers are correct. Our x is negative 4, our y is negative 9, and our p is negative 2. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do there.